while they last and stock up on active gear like 50% off select exertion tees, tanks, and capris for women. Plus, get fast savings on Fila athletic shoes for the family starting at $24.99. Or use your coupon and get an extra 30% off at checkout. Weekdays are back in style. JCPenney. Doorbuster style at $828.22 for the coupon. Coupon law through 8/22. Some exclusions apply. See store or jcp.com for details.
It's our newest burger, the Sourdough Star. It's pure poetry.
This is where the stars align with the buttery sourdough. No touching an elegant out of the flow. These packed charcoal and the bacon awaken the center. Each bite is perfection. I'm blessed when they summon the onions and dressing. The cheese is a flex. All the flavor so fresh. This is where I wanna be. Where the taste is straight harmony.
The new Sourdough Star at Carl's Jr. Eat your happy. Available limited by participating Carl's Jr. So that's what it's needed.
Living through the summer with a broken air conditioner is brutal.
It's so hot in here.
Just chill, honey.
Very funny. I'm calling Pierce.
Pierce Heating and Air is the expert in air conditioning repair and service. Call Pierce today and bring cooling relief to your home. Don't suffer through another hot summer. You need service now. So call 530-446-2368 or go to PierceHVAC.com.
I'm so glad we called Pierce.
You're so cool.
You know you're not funny, right?
Pierce Heating and Air. Affordable Dentures and Implants right here in Vallejo offers life-changing tooth replacement care. Whether it's single tooth implants, dentures, or implant-supported dentures, Dr. Belisco and his team can help you get your smile back, often in the same day at a price that's, well, affordable. More patients who visit Affordable Dentures and Implants are choosing dental implants as the best option to restore their smiles and quality of life. Dental implants act like the roots of your teeth and help give you a confident, healthy, and pain-free smile. Visit Dr. Paul Belisco at Affordable Dentures and Implants. The Vallejo office is located at 125 Plaza Drive in the Gateway Plaza, just off I-80, just south of 37. To schedule your free new patient consultation, call 1-800-DENTURE or visit AffordableDentures.com. That's 1-800-DENTURE or AffordableDentures.com. Affordable Dentures and Implants and Dr. Paul Belisco in Vallejo want you to go ahead and smile.
You won't ever have to miss out on your favorite shows and contests with this radio station again. Radio 24/7, 365. We're here when you want. Stay connected and listen anywhere when you download the free iHeartRadio app.
Excitement and good times. Go for the big win with all your favorite slots and table games. Experience flavors from around the world with our incredible dining options. Make it a staycation with our luxurious rooms, world-class spa and salon, resort-style pool with cabanas, and more. Located right in the heart of Sonoma wine country. Visit GraytonResortCasino.com to book your 24/7 fun.
Let's get ready to rumble! Welcome to the show. My name is Charlton. This is Big C. This is Charlton and Big C Sports coming to you worldwide on the Big C Sports Network, on the #1 network in the United States of America. And Big C Sports has been voted the #1 sports show in the universe according to the Olympic Committee. All fair and nothing more. I want to say today's show is sponsored by your Northern California Cadillac dealers. Home of the all-new Cadillac Escalade, the standard of the world. And when you go by and test drive yours, just tell them Charlton and Big C sent you, as well as a fleet of Cadillac cars. Also, all around the world, just say Google or Alexa play Big C Sports Podcast. You will hear from our sponsors. You will hear welcome to the show. I'm going to introduce myself as the Sports Universe. And I really do appreciate the way things are going with Big C Sports. You can follow Big C Sports on Spotify. You can follow Big C Sports on Xfinity, Comcast TV, Apple TV, Roku TV, Amazon Fire TV, and a lot of smart TVs all over the universe. You're going to have a smart TV. You'll be sitting there looking at a little picture. Man, I love pausing. I love pausing because pausing is a way to help me relax, and I need to relax more. It's all fair level war, but I will never pause on our Veterans Crisis Hotline. They really are experienced helping veterans and their loved ones get help. And I know people know veterans going through issues. If you know anyone going through issues, just pick up the phone and call 800-273-8255. That's 800-273-8255, or you can text 838-255. That's 838-255. If you're online, simply go to veteranscrisisline.net. That's veteranscrisisline.net. And you can definitely get some help for our veterans and their loved ones. Also very happy to be affiliated with Valley Home Weekly TV on Dish TV, Direct TV, AT&T Uverse, TV 53, home of the first place San Francisco Giants. the home run leaders. And they say, hey kid, it's all fair level. When you reach out to them, just tell them Charlton wants World Series tickets, and just tell them Big C sent you. Our goal is simple: recruit 10,000 real estate agents and brokers all over this great country, helping to put people back to work, just like McDonald's does it. Car dealerships are doing it. Sports teams are doing it. Watch TV and real estate work for you. 800-772-8624. If you're looking for opportunities in real estate, go to bigcsports.pacwm.com. Our loans are mostly underwritten by Rocket Mortgage, the #1 lender in the country on the wholesale side. Also, United Wholesale Mortgage, all fair in love and war. I also want to say thank you to Xfinity, Comcast TV, and Comcast Spotlight for presenting Big C Sports to the universe. Just like in Genesis 1:3. God said, play Big C Sports podcast. No, that's not what he said. God said, let there be light. Open your cell phones and say it. Play Big C Sports podcast. You will see all of our apps pop up from all over the world, and I really do appreciate the way things are going with Big C Sports. Also, this show is sponsored by your Budweiser Zero. It has 0% alcohol, 100% on your game, and it goes great with that Big C burger. It is a tasty burger, and it comes with all these exotic meats. What all these exotic meats? That's the way the great Sam Jackson said it, and I love bringing it up for the great Sam Jackson. All fair in love and war. I love life. I feel very blessed and highly favored to be able to bring the Big C Sports podcast to the universe every Monday through Friday at 6 o'clock p.m. You know, NFL camps, some tempers flare at intense Tennessee Titans, Tampa Bay Buccaneers joint practice. Sometimes good old boys just can't get along. Top New York Jets free agent signing Carl Lawson. He ruptures his Achilles heel, and it's not even the regular season. Man, it's a shame. He's going to miss the entire 2021 season. The Las Vegas Raiders coach John Gruden sends the team's buses after a brawl with the Los Angeles Rams. Didn't Rodney King tell us, can't we all just get along? I mean, people are out of their fucking minds. I mean, the great Spock, okay? I don't have to repeat that one. You know, what does Spock say? I think it was Scotty said to Spock, Spock, are you out of your fucking mind? Fucking mind. So, you know, clear your mind, people. Free your mind, and the rest will follow the great in vogue. Also, the New York Saints, they amend season ticket refund policy after requiring vaccines for negative COVID-19 tests. And so there's a lot of stuff going on in the world of NFL football. And I know a lot of people are proud and happy to wear their team colors. They want to go around having their best uniforms on, their team uniforms. They're spending money on jerseys. All fair and level war. My mom got me into football when I played. It was actually punt, pass, and kick. It was a great event for young boys. I think I was 8 years old when I started. And so my mother had signed me and my brothers up for a punt, pass, and kick. And we all played. I still remember those days. I love what I'm doing with Big C Sports. I'm going to just do a little bit different podcast today. I want to say, Espy's nominated by Disney, Big C Sports. Let's get ready to rumble! And I love that. Really appreciate that, Ms. Matthews. And as I say, welcome to the show. Espy's nominated Big C Sports Podcast, Best Sports Show. And I mean this for anyone that says, yeah, right, man, I listen to somebody that's better than you. And that's fine. Everybody has their own flavor of Kool-Aid. But for the people who vote, all I say is I have no scripts. I have no three-way teleprompters, no producer in my ear. I do it with God, some stats that my son Malcolm sends me, and also every now and then Big C. I do a lot of it just with my higher self, like Genesis 1:3. I always honor God. God said, let there be light. So anyone that says that their show is better than Big C Sports, and again, everybody has their own flavor. Everybody says that the best. I've heard men say to women, I'm going to give you the best love making you've ever had. And women say, yeah, okay, right. All fair and love and war. But I mean this, for any of you guys who are voting, anyone in the media that determines who's going to win an Oscar or win an Espy or win whatever award. Again, no scripts, no three-way teleprompters telling me what to say, no producer in my ear. I do the show, number one, I produce it. Number two, I direct the topics. Number three, I broadcast the shows. Number four, I do the sound effects. That's all done by me. At the same time, number five, I provide the commercials outside of what the agency provides. Number six, I do the stats providing. I'm going to talk about some stats on the program. I always do, especially with baseball. I love saying the ERA. It's all fair in love and war, or how far someone ran for the touchdown. It's all fair and love and war. I also do the storytelling. Anyone that says, oh, I can do a show, yes, I encourage when people do a show. But for the people voting for the Espy'S, I also quote Bible verses. If people can talk about misogyny and other things and calling people freaks, I can also give Bible verses. And then I upload every show to 15 multiple podcast platforms. In fact, just picked up another one last night that's going to be able to be heard on, I believe, by Friday, which is tomorrow, depending on where you are in the world. And so that's now 15 multiple podcast platforms. There's some people who only have 2. And then 4 television platforms. And it's all produced by a black man. I've never missed a Big C Sports podcast since September 12th, 2015. And I always say, again, for people voting for the best sports show, Big C Sports is the only sports show in the universe that talks about God. In Genesis 13:15, for all the land that thou seest will I give you, and your seed forever. James 4:2, we have not because we ask not. So just ask. Whatever you want in life, you just gotta make sure you ask. If you don't ask, then you're probably not gonna get it. So that goes for the people voting. And there's more sports shows, and you guys know this. And podcasters make between $1 million and $10 million a year. You can Google names. Some people make their work private, others make their income public. But all I say to any sponsor is, if you have a farmer and they're going to the market and they're looking for all of the green produce, everything has to be green, or it's probably not going to be taken to the market. Whether it's green apples, whether it's collard greens, broccoli, lettuce, whatever it is, green onions, green peas, whatever it is. If it's green, you have the green light for it. And all I've been saying is there are a lot of people that may be more well-known because they have a lot of money pumped behind them by mainstream corporations. But I challenge any podcaster, anywhere in the universe, you're going to see a lot coming up for football season. Have them do it with no producer. Have them do it with no scripts. Have them do it with no teleprompters. That means they're on their own. They got to do it with their higher self, the pineal gland, the subconscious mind, whatever it is. Have them honor God or pay homage to God, other than saying God bless you. Do they know any verses? Genesis 1:3, let there be light. Do they even know about Genesis 13:15? For all the land that thou seest will I give thee, and thy offspring forever. Do they know James 4:2? We have not because we ask not. So start asking. You don't hear any sports programs anywhere in the universe that open up with that type of homage to God. I also want to pay homage to my family. Nobody does this either, because a lot of people say, oh, I got here on my own, or it's me, myself, and I, or no one's ever done anything for me. That's not true for me. I know where my roots come from, and they're all planted in good source. It's almost like growing up, and they say it takes a village to raise a child, and it really did. I want to pay homage to my mother's side, and I'll do it every show. To my great-grandfather, Pop, my great-grandmother, we called her Mamo, or Hattie Leach, my grandmother, Madia, who, ironically, I'm going to share this story because it's true. When I was 8 years old, I got shot in the head with a bullet. And before it happened, about 30 seconds before, she had already passed away. She said, get away. And I didn't get away. I know she said get away because I at least moved about 20 feet away from, where the thing was. But it hit me right in the head. There were people that said I didn't make it. You know how people want to just be the first to give bad news? Alexander O'Neal is hearsay, causing you heartache, because the lie's not the truth until you believe it. But there were people, the great Alexander O'Neal talked about hearsay. You can Google that song. There were people that were spreading rumors that, oh, he's gone. Wasn't the case at all. But I heard my grandmother speak to me, and she had already passed a few years ago, before it happened. But I heard her voice, and I listened to it. I love paying homage because they're always with us. No one does anything on their own. On my beautiful mother, I love, it's appreciate everything that she's ever told me about rising and shining. You gotta rise and shine every day. And then on my father's side, Albert Curry and Alberta Curry owned 2 service stations over in Oakland, California. He was a minister. And then my father, Everett, was in the Air Force. I mean, I think everybody from brothers and sisters, nieces and nephews, family, spouse, wife and kids, and everyone who's ever poured into me. And, in these times, we hear about these football teams that are having fist fights. Just stupid. They're not paid to fight. They're paid to play football. And some guys are going to be fined because of something they're not even supposed to be doing. And there are people having challenges. Just always put your head in prayer and pray about it and try to make things better. That's important. I want to start today's show with something that's very, very important to me. One of the most important persons in the history of the universe in my life, transcended on August 19th, 2013. And as it happened, I woke up at about 2 o'clock in the morning. My stomach felt like really bad. I had a sick stomach. It woke me up out of bed. I got up on my knees and I just prayed. I didn't know what was going on. But at the same time, I made a phone call to my brother because we always talked all time of night. It didn't matter. Call him Uncle Todd. My kids call him Uncle Todd. Dad, you talking to Uncle Todd again? But he always made me feel special, like a little brother. So every now and then he'd go up beside my backside like a big brother does to a little brother too. But he said something in a letter that he wrote to me, and he got me, as far as sports, we covered so many sports, he got me into golf. We always played football, basketball, baseball, track and field, boxing, but he really got me into golf. He was really big in golf, played a lot of golf. He's a pretty good golfer as well. But Todd said in a letter one time, I was in college, I was going through some challenges, and everybody goes through challenges. He said, go forward. He said, don't look back. He said, there's nothing back there but your backside. What little you have of it, right? I don't have the biggest derriere, posterior. And Todd had more of the big C burger, a tasty burger. His had more exotic meats. And he looks kind of like Sam Jackson. I used to always tease him. I said, Todd, are you in the movies? Especially he spoke like Sam Jackson. If anyone says, man, Charles, you got a little bit of fire and brimstone, it comes from my brother Todd. He was always fire and brimstone. I can say, Todd, good morning. Good morning. He would always have that little bass in his voice. But when I think about Sam Jackson, and especially the movie Pulp Fiction, excuse me, did I get your attention? And before they shot that guy and ate his hamburger, the big C burger, what's all these exotic meat? That's the great Sam Jackson. And my brother Todd looks at him, same kind of shaved head, same kind of voice, and speaking with a lot of passion. So I wanted to thank Todd, because as one of the most important people in my life, there was a time I asked Todd to tell a lie for me. And he said, no, I'm not telling a lie for you. And, he didn't. And so I ended up getting the spanking. He said, you should have done it, if that makes sense to you. In my family, you have to go out and find a switch. I'm still looking for some switches. And when I found the switch, it was less than the length of your pinky finger. But it's all fair, love, and war. But I wanted to just pay homage to Todd. I miss you like I miss breathing when I hold my breath, Todd. And there's something about you that you told me a long time ago. I didn't even know why you were saying it. But as I get older, I understand. He said, you got to love people. You got to forgive people. And sometimes people will just do you wrong because that's who they are. And they won't even own up to it. And I understand he was one of the most honest people I've ever met in my life. And if Todd said something, you can believe it. Because he didn't miss words. He did lie about my backside being not being big enough. I thought it was big enough. It's all fair, love, and war. But for everyone, Todd always says, stop being at odds with people that you love. If you do wrong, like the parents would say, apologize to that person. Don't double down on it. You know you did wrong. And God knows it too. Including me, no matter who you are. Everybody knows if they did something wrong to hurt somebody. Have the decency to apologize. Don't keep praying to God if you know you're crooked. All fair and love and work. Todd talked to me that way. Always talked to me about golf. Took me out golfing. I think he used the word for the most when he was out golfing with me. Because I was hitting golf balls like I was a lightsaber. It was all over the place. Left, right, backwards, all over the place. And he would say, man, he called me by my nickname. He said, we got to work on your game. You got to work on my game. It's all fair, love, and war. But I know, Todd, I'm understanding more and more as I get older. You can't control how people treat you. You can only control how you treat them. So I always tell my children, if you do wrong, apologize to people. Don't double down on it. And don't keep pretending you're going to send out God messages, God love you, God bless you, if you know you don't want to apologize for what you did. And Todd wasn't like that. He told people the truth. And my mother and father, same thing. To this day, just tell the truth. That's my soapbox. I wanted to honor you, Todd, because you know how much you mean to me. And I've cried many, many tears, Todd. I've laughed many, many hours. But you're the best brother in the history of the universe. Take the big T pause. In the words of the great Arnold Schwarzenegger, I'll be back. All right, we're back from the Big C pause, also known as the Big C timeout. You can follow Big C Sports 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on the #1 podcast network in the universe, iHeartRadio podcast. You can follow Big C Sports on Apple Podcasts. You can follow Big C Sports on Google Podcasts. There's so many apps you can follow, and I really do appreciate the way things are growing with Big C Sports. You can follow Big C Sports on Xfinity, Comcast TV, Apple TV, Roku TV, Amazon Fire TV, and a lot of smart TVs all over the universe. You better have a smart TV. You'll be sitting there looking at a still picture. You know, there's also a great game called baseball. Talking baseball. The city by the bay. It's all fair, love, and war. One of my favorite sports has been baseball. And Todd was one of the best baseball players I ever knew. He could hit a home run just by looking at it. The pitch. Hit deep. Right field. Back to the wall. Home run. Todd Curry doing his thing all over the batting mound. A great pitcher too. He threw laser beams. I'm just gonna tell him he had a 1.11 ERA. Okay, I'm gonna embellish for you, Todd, but I know you're a great pitcher. We had a baseball mound in the backyard. We always went out and played football, basketball, and baseball, and playing catch, all kind of things. I'm gonna say I'm flying into New York City, and I told you those Yankees would start doing their thing. The New York Yankees are hosting the Minnesota Twins. The pitch, hit deep, right field, back to the wall, home run. Say hello to my little friend. Girls love the long ball, and men love to hit deep. All fair in love and war. The New York Yankees, they're on a winning streak. I think they won 17 of their last 22. I might be off by a game, but keep in mind on the mound pitching for the Twins. I got to use my baseball vernacular, Todd. I got to use that. Is Jameson Talon, and he's a good pitcher for the Minnesota Twins. And pay attention he's for the New York Yankees. I don't want to put him on the wrong team. He wasn't traded, just in case you think he was traded, Todd. But at the same time, pay attention at the bat for Minnesota. It's Ryan Jeffers. When Ryan Jeffers is up to bat, pay attention to him. Also, Ragnar Odor, pay attention to him too. Going to fly out of New York City, but I was saying New York's going to challenge for their division. They, as well as Boston and Tampa. What a great baseball being played in the East. Also, Toronto, keep in mind, Toronto, they're doing their thing every now and then. I'm going to fly out of New York JFK Airport to Cincinnati, and we're going to fly to the Cincinnati Reds. They're taking on the Miami Marlins. The pitch, hit deep, left field, back to the wall, home run. Say hello to my little friend. All fair and love and war. The girls love the long ball, and men love to hit deep. I love hitting deep. Todd used to hit deep all the time, as he got a hold of any baseball that flew over the strike zone. Even outside of the strike zone, Todd would say, any pitch outside the strike zone belongs to you. Everything inside the strike zone belongs to me. And he just hit it there and hit deep right field. Todd did that many, many times. Really appreciate you, Todd. Also, pitching on the mound for the Reds is Luis Castillo. That good old boy can pitch. But also, when Miami's up to bat, Miguel Rojas, pay attention to him. And then Nick Nieder, also pay attention to him when Miami's up to bat. I can't give you everything because my prop betting friends in Las Vegas, they tell me not to. If I don't listen, they won't comp me a room when I go to Vegas all there in Love and War. I want to fly out of the city of Cincinnati, and I'm going to fly into the beautiful city of St. Louis, Missouri, home of the Arts, gateway to the West. We have a good Midwest series. The Milwaukee Brewers are on the road at the Cardinals. The pitch, hit deep, center field, back to the wall, home run. Say hello to my little friend. It's all fair and level war. Now the Brewers, they're a very solid baseball team. I really love what Milwaukee's doing. That big old Brewers team, they can hit deep. They're 74-47 on the season. They're 42-20 away, so they're over 500 on the road. The Cardinals are 61-58 overall. They're 32-27 at home, so they're both good teams. But Milwaukee, those good boys can play. The away pitcher is Brandon Woodruff. He's a flamethrower. He has a 2.18 ERA. That good boy can throw flames. Keep in mind when he's on the mound. But also, for the home team, John Lester, not the best ERA. It's a 5.32 ERA, so nothing to write about. And then Brandon Woodruff, he's a Jedi Knight trained by the great Obi-Wan Kenobi. Milwaukee's a really tough out. They've had a lot of good players over the last couple of seasons. This is nothing different. I'm going to take you down to beautiful. I'm going to fly out of St. Louis, Missouri. Going to fly over to beautiful Southern California. It's called LAX, Los Angeles International Airport. Sometimes people fly into John Wayne, but I'm going to fly into LAX this time. And they're taking on the New York Mets that were just finished up with the San Francisco Giants. So the Mets went down the coast. The pitch. Hit deep. Left field. Back to the wall. Home run. Say hello to my little friend. The girls love the long ball. The men love the hit deep. The New York Mets, they are 24-37 on the road. Okay, that's not that good. They are 60-60 overall. They tied, well, I won't say they tied. They're even in the win-loss record. They salvaged the series being swept by the Giants by winning the last game up at Oracle Ballpark. It was 6-2 yesterday in San Francisco. I don't have the word on the pitchers, but when you look at the Dodgers record, the Dodgers are 39-20 at home. That's pretty solid. Not quite as good as Milwaukee, but they're 39-20 at home. They're difficult to beat. They're 75-46 overall. That's a tough team to out. I mean, their bullpen is like an all-star lineup. So anyone that's going to deal with the Dodgers, you're going to have a lot to deal with because that little boys down at Cerveza, they play for keeps. And they also love the Big C burger. They know it's a tasty burger, but they always say, what's all this exotic meat? And they get the exotic meats. The great Sam Jackson from Pulp Fiction. Sam Jackson, he knows the exotic meat, but he doesn't know about the vibranium. Vibranium special. Yeah, I'm talking about Wakanda. That's all fair and level war. But I'm going to fly out of LAX. Really love the Dodgers this year. I'm going to fly across the country to Detroit, Motown. All fair and level war. And the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim will bring the great Shohei Ohtani. You know, he went yard yesterday, hit deep right field back to the wall. He did his thing again. And when you pay attention, this Angels team, they're a good team. And they're in a tough division too. Because the A's are going to be making some noise out there in the West. But when you think about it, I really like what the Angels are able to do with Shohei and a lot of other good players. The pitch, hit deep. Right field, back to the wall, home run! Say hello to my little friend, all fair and love and war. And keep in mind, on the mound for the Angels, again, they just left the East Coast. Mike Mayer on the mound for the Angels. Keep in mind, just keep an eye on him for your prop bettors. And then for the home pitcher is Michael Fulmer. Keep in mind what he does. Again, I don't give out too many stats on the people that the prop bettors tell me not to. I don't want anybody trying to take my knuckles off my hands. That makes sense here. I need knuckles to eat the Big C burger. It's a tasty burger, and it comes with all these exotic meats, and I need knuckles to eat them. So I don't want to backstab any of my prop betting friends. Some of those guys don't fly straight. They're like Sam Jackson. I don't want any bad news coming to me. I want to fly. I want to get away. I want to fly away. The great Lenny Kravitz. Yeah. Gonna fly out of Detroit. Gonna fly in to Florida in the beautiful city of Tampa. The Tampa Bay Rays. Man, they were on top of the Dodgers last year in the World Series, and they pulled a pitcher that could not be hit, and they've still been licking their chops about that. But they're at home, flying into Tampa Bay International Airport, bringing in the Baltimore Orioles, and the pitch, hit deep, right field, back to the wall, home run! Say hello to my little friend, all fair and love and war. Keep in mind with this game, for the pitching for Baltimore, pay attention to George Lopez. You're going to want to look up his numbers. And also, when you look at the pitching for the Tampa Bay Rays, Shane McClanahan. Look up his numbers. A lot of you guys that love the stats game, you're gonna find some good stuff in there. I'm gonna fly out of the beautiful state of Florida, the city of Tampa. I'm gonna fly into Texas, Arlington, Texas. We're gonna land at DFW, Dallas Fort Worth, and the Seattle Mariners are gonna fly into Texas and play the Texas Rangers. The pitch, hit deep, left field, back to the wall, home. Say hello to my little friend. The girls love the long ball, and men love the hit deep. For those of you who like offense, you're going to love this game. I don't give out scores, but sometimes you get some extra cheese. The extra cheese on the Big C burger with all those exotic meats. You get extra cheese when you watch this game. Pay attention to the mound. You prop better. Joe Smith, look up his numbers. And then also the pitcher for Texas, Joe Barlow. Look up his numbers. That's a clue from all of my prop betting friends. And I didn't give out more information than I needed to. So therefore, I get to keep all my fingers, at least for today's show. But we're not clear yet. There's still smoke, and where there's smoke, there's fire. I want to take the time, all of our first responders in California. The smoke is so bad, I feel like I'm tasting it on my tongue. It's almost thick enough to take away the taste of the Big C burger. I know it's a tasty burger. I know it comes with exotic meats. But when there's this much smoke in the air, it's hard to even enjoy your food. So I hope a lot of good old boys keep the elderly well ventilated. If you can, keep them out of the smoke. I mean, whatever you can do, just check on people, make sure they're doing okay. Gonna fly out of Texas, fly into the beautiful city of Kansas City, Missouri, and we will take on the Houston Astros flying into Kansas City. The pitch, hit deep, left field, back to the wall. It's caught at the warning track. Oh, man. Another war. The Houston Astros, what a great team. Kansas City, not as good. Pay attention for your prop bettors on the mound. Ryan Presley, when Houston's on the mound. And on the mound for Kansas City, pay attention to Wade Davis. So that's for my prop betting friends. Make sure I keep all my fingers. I need all my fingers to keep all fair level work. Gonna fly out of the beautiful city of Kansas City, Missouri. Gonna fly into the windy city of Chicago. Not windy for the wind, but windy for the politics. The Oakland A's flying into Chicago. And boy, do they need a win. The pitch, hit deep, left field, back to the wall, home run. Say hello to my little friend. The Oakland A's, they're trying to get $1 billion stadium built right off the water in Oakland, California. But I don't know if they need that stadium. $1 billion is a lot of money to watch people play baseball. And they only average about 20,000 fans as it is. So if you build $1 billion stadium, are they going to get another 20,000 to show up? They're a good team. And they're having a hard time filling the stadium because with COVID. Let's keep in mind, COVID happened. A lot of people have been on unemployment. A lot of people have been on food stamps. A lot of businesses have shut their doors. And some jobs are not coming back no matter how many stimulus bills are passed. Gasoline costs almost $5 a gallon. And now you want people to spend $100 on a baseball ticket. I mean, you make the call, all fair and level war. But again, for the Chicago White Sox and Oakland A's, I'm going to do it again because it sounds so good. The pitch, hit deep, left field, back to the wall, home run. Say hello to my little friend, all fair and level war. Pay attention on the mound when the A's are pitching their ace, Cole Irvin. That's for you prop bettors. Keep in mind of what he's going to do. And then Todd, my brother Todd, he was a great pitcher. He had a mean fastball. How I know? Because he hit me with it a couple times in the backyard. I said, come on, man, that's not right. And people would cheer, too. They would hit me, and then, yeah, I told you don't try to hit me yard. You know, some good pitchers, when you take them yard, you know when you come right back up to the plate, you're going to get one across the chin. Yeah, that chin music doesn't feel good, all fair. And the boy Todd, you know what I'm talking about. Hit me personally. Hit me intentionally. And he knew I couldn't walk to the second base or first base because I was hurt too much. But I told Mom, she said, quit throwing balls at that boy. All fair and level war. But again, Cole Irvin for the A's on the mound and Michael Kopech on the mound for the Chicago White Sox. Going to fly out of Chicago into the beautiful city of Phoenix, Arizona International Airport. And they're hosting the Philadelphia Phillies. The pitch, hit deep, right field, back to the wall, home run. Say hello to my little friend. Goes over a long ball, the man left the hit deep. What does Sam Jackson say in that movie? I'm tired of all these Blakely Blake snakes on this Blakely Blake snake. Oh, fair level worth. Sam Jackson has such a range with his acting. And what I love about the great Sam Jackson, he reminds me so much of my brother Todd. Same kind of look at time in the face and same kind of demeanor when he talks, spoke with a lot of passion and did not mince words. That's one of the things I loved about Todd. If he said something, he meant it. He didn't have to go back and remember what he said, as oftentimes people don't remember because they lie so much. Todd was not like that, and that's one thing I really appreciate him. And he's just a great brother and will always be a part of the Big C Sports podcast because I channel him. That's where all my passion comes from, especially all those exotic meats. All friend, love, and war. I got to tell one more story about Todd, too. I'll do it after I do the Zach Wheeler on the mound for Arizona, and then actually on the mound for Philadelphia, and then on the mound for Arizona, the great Madison Bumgarner used to be with the San Francisco Giants when he was doing this thing back in the day for the city by the bay, helping them win the World Series. So everybody knows that life is about you gotta find your green light. You gotta find your green light, and everybody has a green light. One thing I want to say about life, no matter who you are, you just want people to tell you the truth, because to me, it feels good when people open up and they're open to listening. And what I really mean by that is just be straightforward with people and say what you actually want. I like that in people, and I've been told that people like that about me. That is yours, that you can have what you want because you've earned it. We pay for it, that's $6 billion. Everyone needs an ark in their life. An ark like Noah. Noah helped you get through the flood. All the livestock, all the gaminess in the Big C burger with all the exotic meats. Where do you think the exotic meats came from? They came from Noah, bringing all the livestock through the flood. And that's what I appreciate about Noah, bringing the livestock through the flood. Because with that, that's how they get all the exotic meats on the Big C burger. Todd knows that. My mother, growing up, always had a house full of food, refrigerator full, had 2 freezers full. Oftentimes, she'd cook the best chicken in the history of the universe. I love chicken. In fact, my dad's best part of the chicken was the last part to go over the fence. And I love it too. The backside. Everybody loves the backside, especially the backside of the moon and the backside of that chicken, that yard bird that you try to grab before it flies out of the coop. It's all fair in love and war. We got some great, I don't know if it's great, but it is competition. Cam Newton, and he has in competition with Mac Jones, so they say. We have an NFL football game tonight, a preseason game, as a lot of people say, are you ready for some football? I like the Bruce Buffer way. It's time for the NFL football on Big C Sports. All spread, love, and war. The great Bruce Buffer. So tonight, the Patriots versus the Eagles. The New England Patriots, Philadelphia Eagles, going to take place tonight. 7:30 East Coast time. It's already started, but I don't give out scores. Their last meeting dating back to November 16, 2019. With a tough rivalry that follows the history of these two teams, people remain expectant as to what's going to happen. They played twice in the Super Bowl, if my math is right. The last time Philadelphia won, and that was the great Nick Foles. And the first time, beating over Tom Brady. And the first time, it was the Donovan Ed McNabb. They fell to the New England Patriots also back in the day. So they played before, and now they're playing tonight, preseason games. And think about it, both teams have played against each other 15 times in NFL history, including 2 postseason games, with their first duel taking place at Veterans Stadium. The old timers in Philly, they know Veterans Stadium, ending with the Eagles win November 4th, 1973, with the Eagles taking all-time lead head-to-head. They won 8 games in contrast with 7 games won by the Patriots. But the New England team will battle to tie the stats. It's all fair and level. We're really looking forward to what's going on with that game. There's more games tomorrow where Kansas City will take on the Arizona Cardinals. So for all of you loving NFL football, there's a lot of good things happening. I know a lot of teams are trying to make sure that they stay healthy through training camp. And whether you like Mac Jones or whether you like Cam Newton, Bill Belichick, obviously, he's a Jedi Knight. He has control of what he's doing with New England. They have a lot of players back. I believe 8 players that set out last year due to COVID. Well, those players are coming back. So it's going to be hard to knock off that Jedi Knight of a coach. It's all fair and love and war. I feel like it's a great time of year. We have baseball getting ready for the run for October. Basketballs, we just crowned our champion, Milwaukee Bucks. And then football's having preseason. They're playing football up in Canada in the CFL. So there's a lot of football players close to the border and also in the United States that are dealing with how to win. They want to win the Grey Cup in the CFL. They want to win the Super Bowl in the NFL. First change comes with the preseason shortening, which schedule has been cut to only 3 games instead of the 4 regular season games that we used to have. And this change will bring the expansion to 17 games. The teams that have 9 home games, when you think about it, 9 home games in 2021 will have just 1 preseason game. While the teams that have 8 home games, think about that, 8 home games. They're going to have 8 home games, have just 2 home dates, in the situation will reverse in 2022. So this year's preseason reduced to 49 games. Only 5 will be played during prime time slots, including this week's Jacksonville Jaguars at the New Orleans Saints, and which will take place Monday, August 23rd. The intriguing game will portray it, and when I think about it, the battle between quarterbacks Jameis Winston. I'm going to say, touchdown, Jameis Winston! The last passing regular season he threw last year in the NFL playoffs, it was against Tampa Bay. He came in for a touchdown, Drew Brees. He threw a pass. It was caught for the touchdown! And Peyton said, hold on, you're not following the script. He threw a touchdown pass in 1 pass, and they put him back on the sideline. But there's also Taysom Hill, which is going to, which one's going to steal the game? And I like both of them, but I think Winston's a better quarterback overall. If you got a guy that's going to run kind of a trick play, slot formation, shotgun formation, whatever you want to do, then bring in Taysom Hill. He's a big, strong, fast guy. Yeah, he doesn't go down easily, but at the same time, in the NFL, if you don't get down easily, you oftentimes will have some issues coming up with your health. Guys got to stay healthy. We're just about 21 days from the kickoff of the NFL, and a lot of good old boys are really looking forward to playing the game. I love so much about NFL football. I hope that everybody has a great start to the season. We got to stop these fights that happen in preseason training camp. You're not fighting for anything. A lot of guys just selling wolf tickets. Got to make sure we get rid of that. I want to take the time, Big C style, to talk about some NFL quarterbacks and just where they rank in the rest of this season going forward. And everybody knows that they got to get better. We all got to get better. I'm going to kind of go down and give my thought on 10, and then I may do more as time permits. But everybody has their own favorite, who they feel is going to be the best quarterback for whatever team, and how they're going to help their team get to the playoffs. Playoffs, yeah, I'm saying playoffs. It's all important. It's all fair in love and war. So the first guy I'm going to start with is the Arizona Cardinals. You have Kyler Murray. Some people, they say he has to learn to throw the ball more downfield, and maybe he does. He's had an up-and-down season in 2020, and I'm sure Cliff Kingsbury's going to have to figure out a way to get him rolling. Coming up to the line of scrimmage, shotgun formation, 4 wideouts, 5-man front by the Rams. Murray under center the snap. Murray's rolling to his right, rolling, throws downfield, and it's caught for the touchdown! Arizona Cardinals! DeAndre Hopkins, 50 yards! So that's Kyler Murray. He can throw 50 yards because he gets outside of the pocket. So the roster with Murray healthy for almost the whole season is going to help them a lot. So I really like that. He has to stay healthy, but he actually has more success when he rolls out of the pocket. Some people want him to stay in the pocket. He's not. Fran Tarkenton, about the same size, Hall of Fame quarterback. He was not a pocket passer. He rolled around a lot. The next quarterback I'm going to bring up, number 9 on Big C's power rankings coming into 2021, flying into Dallas, Texas. The great touchdown Dak Prescott. He just signed a new contract. Cowboys up to the line of scrimmage. Shotgun formation. 5 wideouts, 4-man front by the Eagles. The snap, Prescott, 3-step drop, looking, rolling, throws out to the flat, but it's caught by Cooper. Down the sideline, at the 30, at the 20, at the 10, at the 5. Touchdown, Cowboys! How about them Cowboys? Dak Prescott found the seam, 3-step drop, read the safety, found his receiver takes it to the house, and that's what you need from Prescott. He doesn't need to have those 500-yard games like he had last year. Dak Prescott, before suffering his season-ending injury, Dak was on his way to a record-setting year for the Cowboys. How about them Cowboys? But you don't need that. You need him to be able to turn around and get the ball to Ezekiel Elliott. If he has to, find the short passing routes. You don't always have to throw deep. It's easier to complete a 10-yard pass than it is a 50 yards. I'm going to stay in the heart of Texas where the stars are bright, deep in the night, in the heart of Texas. Irrespective of what's going on in the courtroom, I think Deshaun Watson, one of the most dynamic quarterbacks in the NFL, at least in the last 10 years. And I don't know if he's going to start at all this year. We don't even know what's going to happen. But the Texans up to the line of scrimmage. The Colts have a 5-man front. The Texans 4 wide out shotgun formation. Deshaun Watson, the snap, 4-step drop, rolling, looks, throws downfield, and it's caught for the touchdown by John Doe, whoever they're going to be throwing it to, even if they're going to have him playing football. 50 yards! All Sam Leavenworth. Deshaun Watson has that ability to buy time, to get outside the tackles and not be a detriment to his team. I remember there was a game against the Raiders where he threw the ball like he was in the Matrix. He was kind of floating in the air on his side, got kicked in the eye, and still threw the ball for a touchdown. And Watson's one of the game's biggest players and is doing his best to lead Houston to victories, but the roster doesn't have the talent to compete. If Bill O'Brien hadn't traded away Hopkins, Watson would have led Houston to the playoffs in 2020. But there's some courtroom things too, and I won't get into that. It's all fair and level war. I'm going to take you down to the city of Tampa, where we have the defending Super Bowl champion, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, and touchdown Tom Brady. Brady, I-set formation, 4 wideouts. The Falcons in a 5-man front. Brady with the snap. Brady, 5-step drop, looks left, throws right, has the ball, caught in the end zone for a touchdown! Darius Wade. Whoever Darius Wade happens to be, maybe he's a new guy that comes onto the team for Tampa. All right, could be Gronkowski. How about Gronkowski getting a catch? All fair level work. Tom Brady, he has 7 Super Bowl rings in his finger. He's been to 10. Brady won the Super Bowl at age 43. He didn't win it by himself. Tampa Bay won it at 43. At 43 years, I don't see any reason why he cannot repeat the upcoming season, barring that father time finally might get the better of him. I don't see Tampa winning the Super Bowl this year, only because it's hard to repeat. Even when they was with the Patriots, I think they only repeated once. I could be wrong about that, but it's hard to repeat. It's even hard to see if Kansas City will get back there again. They've been there, and they went back to back, but they did not repeat. All friend level work. So I wish Brady and the Buccaneers nothing but the best. I'm going to fly up to Baltimore, Maryland, where we have Superman. It's a bird. It's a plane. No, it's Superman. Lamar Jackson breaks the huddle. Shotgun formation, 4 wideouts. The Steelers in a 5-man front. The snap goes to Jackson. Jackson, 5-step drop, pumps left, pumps right, throws downfield. It is caught for the touchdown! DJ Jackson. I'm making my own receivers, okay? DJ Jackson. He's going to be a barn burner for the Baltimore Ravens. I really like Lamar Jackson. I know some people say, well, he can't throw the ball downfield. Oh, he's a great running back running the ball. Make no mistake about it. That's a good old boy. That's a touchdown waiting to happen. Lamar Jackson has the NFL's most dynamic running offense, but his passing does need some work. I'll agree with that. As teams press and they less frequently, they find a way to kind of stand back and let them run the ball. Because you run the ball too many times, you're going to take punishment. You got to have them releasing the ball. If you're going to run to the sideline, but there's no need to try to run up the gut. He doesn't have the frame to take a big hit. He can get away, but linebackers and defensive backs, they just want to find a way to take people out of the game. I don't think that's going to happen, but he can assure that in not an RG3 type injury where he stays healthy. Throw the ball or throw it away. You don't have to lead the league in rushing. I'm going to fly down to Tennessee, where everything is fine and pouring in Tennessee, if that makes sense to you. It's in the clear mason jar. Number 5, quarterback Big C starts. Ryan Tannehill. Tennessee up to the line of scrimmage. 4 wideouts. I-set formation. Henry in the backfield. 4-man front by the coach. The snap. Tannehill, 5-step drop. Looks left, looks right. Throws downfield. It's caught for the touchdown! Derrick Henry. Yes, Derrick Henry can come out of the backfield, and he can run downfield with the best of them. Ryan Tannehill, not the definition of a quarterback that will not lose the game. He's better than that. Given the depth of talent for Tennessee on offense, Tannehill's been playing, I dare say it, like an elite quarterback for Tennessee. He wasn't really considered elite, but when you have touchdown Derrick Henry who's getting you 2,000 yards, that's going to help your passing game all friend level work. I want to fly into Buffalo. We're going to look at Josh Allen. Josh Allen is a star in the making out of Fireball, California by way of Wyoming. Before Wyoming, he went to, I believe, Wheatley College down near Fresno. The Bills break the huddle. I-set formation. Now Allen drops back into the shotgun formation. 4 wideouts. 5-man front by the Dolphins. The snap. And Allen's rolling to his right. He's rolling, looking, stops, throws downfield. It is caught by Diggs for the touchdown! 50 yards! Josh Allen, that little boy, can roll out of the pocket. He can roll left or right, and he's very accurate when he throws downfield. Allen began last season on fire, and then his play dropped off considerably. However, he appeared to have returned to form, and the Bills can win it all with him under center next season. I doubt it, but he does deserve more respect, and he got that contract to show the respect that the club believes in him. It's all fair and level war. I'm going to fly over to the Pacific Northwest in the great Seattle Seahawks, all fair and level war. The great Russell Houdini Wilson. He breaks the huddle. They have 4 wideouts, shotgun formation. The Rams in a 5-man front. Wilson with the snap, rolling to his right, rolling for. He's looking. No, he's going to run with it. No, he's not going to run with it. He spins out of the tackle. He throws downfield. His caught by DK Metcalf for the touchdown. Touchdown, Seahawks. 50 yards. The great thing about Wilson, he makes it seem like he's going to run. He makes it seem like he's grabbed by a big defensive lineman. And then he throws downfield his car for the touchdown. Yeah, he should have handed off the beast mode in the Super Bowl. All fair and level war. But think about it. Wilson was the MVP frontrunner heading to this bye week. But in the 4 games coming out of the bye week, the Seahawks are 1-3. With Wilson throwing 4 touchdowns to 5 interceptions. He has to learn to take the sack more or just throw it out of bounds before taking the snap. But playing like Russell Houdini Wilson, sometimes it gets him in trouble and it tries to get him out of trouble. All fair and level war. Going to fly into Green Bay. Touchdown Aaron Rodgers, Lambeau Field. The Packers break the huddle. They have a shotgun formation. They have 4 wideouts. A 5-man front by Tampa. Touchdown Aaron Rodgers with a snap. Looking left, looking right. He's going to step into the pocket. He's going to throw downfield. And it's caught by Devontae Adams for the touchdown. 50 yards. 50-yard pass. Touchdown Aaron Rodgers. After losing to the Minnesota Vikings, he played 7 rookies on defense and did not have a good portion of his starting cornerbacks in Week 8. Rodgers showed he's still among the best in the world when it comes to playing football. And when you think about it, against the 49ers in Week 9, he recorded 3 touchdowns. Against Jacksonville, Rodgers did not stop there, leading the Packers on a 6-game winning streak to close out the regular season and get the top seed in the NFC last year. This team is loaded, and they're playing with an attitude because of what happened last year, how things ended when they had it is 4th and goal from the 8-yard line. Aaron up to the line of scrimmage, and Tampa in a goal line defense. And instead of kicking the field goal, it should have been the snap. Rodgers 5-step drop, looking, throws over the middle, and it's caught for the touchdown! Green Bay! Devontae Adams! But Coach LaFleur wanted to kick a field goal. All fair and level war. Maybe he forgot who was playing in the backfield. I'm going to fly up to Kansas City, Missouri, home of the all-cheese patty special sauce, lettuce, cheese, pickles, onions on a Big C burger bun. With all these exotic meats, Patrick Mahomes, one of the only quarterbacks in the history of the universe to put ketchup on his Big C burger. He comes with enough exotic meats, he needs to do a commercial with Sam Jackson. And it's going to be like Patrick Mahomes says, yeah, man, I heard about these Big C burgers. I hear there's a tasty burger. I hear they come with, what's all these exotic meats? And Sam Jackson says, why are you putting the ketchup on the Big C burger? Can you imagine Sam Jackson yelling at touchdown Patrick Mahomes as to make a commercial? I think it's funny. They heard it first on Big C Sports. They hand the City Chiefs. They come up to the line of scrimmage. Shotgun formation, 4 wideouts, 5-man front by the Raiders. Mahomes, the snap, he's looking, he's rolling left. He's going to roll left to it again. He's rolling to his left. He's going to throw downfield. It is caught for the touchdown by John Adams. Whoever John Adams. No. Travis Kelce. I like Travis Kelce. Travis Kelce. 50 yards. I love the touchdown, Travis Kelce. From touchdown, Patrick Mahomes. Mahomes is the scariest quarterback in the NFL. While he's the Kansas City Chiefs star, they will never be out of a game. And there's reason that the Chargers punted on 4th and 1 during overtime. Think about it. Touchdown Patrick Mahomes. He makes plays. There's nothing he cannot do, and he makes it look easy. He didn't have a good offensive line in the Super Bowl last year, so yeah, they got exposed, but it wasn't his fault. I mean, I'm not saying he can do it by his own, but it wasn't his fault. And so that's Big C's thoughts on the top 10 NFL quarterbacks going into the regular season. I'll have more thoughts on what's going on the remaining quarterbacks as we get into closer into the end of the week on Friday's game. Got another show coming up on Friday's show. Really looking forward to that. I know everybody loves football. There's a lot of good things going on. Got to keep everybody healthy. The Detroit Lions coach Dan Campbell takes the heat for cutting Dan Malbach. Okay, you can cut who you want. Chicago Bears. Justin Fields is healthy to face Buffalo Bills and Mitch Trubisky. I tell you, Fields is the real deal. He's going to help the Bears get some win. I would still hold him out for 2 or 3 games. Touchdown Patrick Mahomes. He set up and he backed up Alex Smith. Did it hurt him? No. He's the best quarterback in the NFL. Because of that, it wouldn't hurt Fields to be able to see some things from the sideline. Look about what's going on. The Green Bay Packers unveiled their retro all-green 1950 throwbacks. They're a good-looking uniform, but a little bit outdated, but they are trying to get people to buy more of their merchandising. There's nothing wrong with that. Think about this. It's all fair in love and war. Aaron Rodgers does not want 2021 to be treated like the Green Bay Packers farewell tour. Even if he leaves, he still wants them to take this serious. They're trying to win another Super Bowl. They have as good a chance as anybody. It's just a matter of how well they do what they got to do. It's all fair in love and war. Minnesota Vikings linebacker Cameron Smith announced retirement 1 year after open heart surgery. Talk about an athlete. This happened yesterday. You can have open heart surgery and still consider playing football. We'll see what happens. New York Jets quarterback Zach Wilson is, around the Green Bay Packers. Aaron Rodgers loves to be around the greatness and seeing if he can kind of get some of that to rub off on him. Everybody loves football. Dallas Cowboys coach Mike McCarthy says has a good chance that Dak Prescott will not play in the preseason. That's okay, but you're still going to have Dak Prescott. He has to get some reps in. If he's not going to get in reps, then how are you going to get him ready to win? You want to play to win the game, you got to get him some reps. It's all fair in love and war. I wanted to donate or dedicate today's show to my brother Todd, the best brother in the history of the universe. I have great brothers in my family, great sisters. Everybody just has to rise and shine no matter what. No one should ever take for granted how wonderful people are. And I do appreciate that about you, Todd. As you've always said, there's nothing back there but your backside, what little you have. So always go forward and always rise and shine. If you want someone on your team, you got to know who's on your team. If you want something for somebody, you got to ask for it. Find the ark in your life. Everyone needs a Noah's ark to bring them through the flood. If you have something to say about somebody, at least have the character to say it in front of them. That's important. If you've done anybody wrong, it's always okay to apologize. God knows who's watching. God's watching. Just apologize and fix things as if you want your reputation to depend on it. It's all fair and level war. So many great things I love about Todd. Back in the day, there's a man by the name of Drew Boudini Brown. He was known as Muhammad Ali's right-hand man, and he would always tell Ali, you float like a butterfly, you sting like a bee, you rumble, young man, rumble. With all you've got to use, how can you lose? What are you looking forward to in the sports universe? I wish that everyone healthy, wealthy, and wise. I wish that everyone will rise. You got to rise and shine no matter what you're going through. It's always rising and shining. And I do believe that. You float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. I'm going to say it one more time. Back in the day, there's a man by the name of Drew Boudini Brown. He was known as Muhammad Ali's right-hand man. And he would always tell Ali, you float like a butterfly, you sting like a bee, you rumble, young men, rumble. With all you've got to use, how can you lose? I remember Todd one time, you told me, I love you, man. Todd, I love you. Every Monday through Friday at 5 or 6 p.m. worldwide, follow Big C Sports on the Big C Sports Network, on the #1 network in the United States of America. And Big C Sports has been voted the #1 sports show in the universe, according to Todd, my lovely brother Todd. As we always said, my mama says there's never ever an excuse for racism or domestic violence. You can know anyone going through that garbage, pick up the phone and ask for help, because no one should ever go through that garbage on their own. And as we always tell you, on every Big C Sports show, I thank you, I appreciate you, and I hope that you have a super fantastic day. I love you, Todd.